Owen and Claire have to save a baby velociraptor and their adopted clone child before locusts eat all the crops.
Don't move. Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?
37? They say at the beginning of this film that there have been 37 confirmed dinosaur-related deaths this year. The mosasaur is in the ocean, and we see it knocking out fishing boats. There's a T-Rex on the list, just on the mainland in America, that would take out that many on a Tuesday. Like, they try to drastically downplay just how much this would fuck shit up, having dinosaurs out in the real world, and how much most of these dinosaurs would have been shot immediately down by the military because it's such a fucking danger to have them out and about. Jurassic World Dominion couldn't go back to Island Nublar for their nostalgia injection because they blew it up. So they brought back Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm instead, making for one of the truly great all-time pieces of shit that everybody involved must regret, except they probably don't because after all, they still got to be in a billion-dollar film. And that brings me to the most interesting point because as far as I can see, looking down a list of things that have made $1 billion in the history of cinema, I think this might just be the absolute worst one. This might get the title for absolute biggest piece of billion-dollar shit. Also, after the park is open and the park is gone, we get the epic conclusion to the Jurassic saga. Really? Imagine being a franchise that is enough of a cunt to say that, to have that be your tagline, the epic conclusion of the Jurassic saga, and then release another film not even 3 years later. So there's this rich evil guy, again, yep, and he's released a batch of locusts which are going around destroying all the crops in the world besides the ones grown with his company's seeds. How did he think he was going to get away with that, like at any point? My god. And even his own workers are starting to turn against him. Well, some of them. A lot of them are okay with what he's doing and how super evil it is, because they're like young people he hires, so they're just in their 20s getting huge paychecks, which at this point seems less likely to happen than dinosaurs being brought back to life. So Ellie Sattler goes and brings Alan Grant into the fold to go help her go to this place and find proof with Ian Malcolm that stuff's going wrong and they're evil. And Owen Grady and Claire are just trying to get their adopted clone child back. So they have to go into the dinosaur underground in Malta. Making this the plot of a Jurassic film was, needless to say, terrifying. Trying to shove the whole cast in was just one awful lumpy mess. I mean, it was far too long for one of these films. It's also just got far too much going on. It feels like completely different movies. And this is the problem I had with Rebirth as well. I think these franchises, they can't decide what they actually want to do, so they keep making like 2 films in one. It's so annoying. They also try to shove in the Fallen Kingdom side characters, the Jurassic World side characters, and new villains, and new side characters, all in this film alongside 2 full casts. And it is an absolute mess. Also, they managed, despite the film being super long, to almost entirely ignore dinosaurs being in the open world and all the possibilities of that. They have, like, Chris Pratt being chased through this city in Malta by velociraptors. That is dumb, but it's also the kind of dumb you would expect and want at least out of this. And it's the only sequence which is any sort of memorable moment at all. Like, apart from Ian Malcolm making fun of Owen Grady. Like, constantly just being like, oh, is that a dinosaur on your shoulder? And Owen's like, yeah. And he's like, Ian Malcolm is so disgusted at his existence. The only people more disgusted than Ian Malcolm by Owen Grady is everyone who saw this film. I think Ian Malcolm's comments and entire character towards the Jurassic World characters is indicative of how Jurassic Park and the makers of it would feel about the makers of these films. But, none of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, or Jeff Goldblum are actually A-list enough to be turning down starring in another surefire $1 billion movie, are they? So, yeah. I swear to God, though, if I ever have to see anybody ever do the and dive roll out of the way again, I'll stab someone. I hate it so much. Thank God they made this the longest entry in the franchise so they could fit in another 20 minutes of talking about how humans shouldn't mess with dinosaurs. We know, so stop messing with them. Oh, yeah, it's rough. Ian Malcolm is still pretty great, actually. Definitely is more like himself than he was in Jurassic Park 2. Sam Neill and Laura Dern do just look like they're just kind of there. Sam Neill could not look more like he's cashing a check, and that's it. Yeah, the side characters mostly suck. The villains suck. The dinosaurs suck. The dinosaurs need to unionize so they stop getting put in films like this. Oh, it is rough. I'm giving Ian Malcolm literally says Jurassic World, not a fan. 2 stars. I mean, I would just... It's really actually hard for me. I think I would just say that Jurassic Park 3 is worse than this. Because it just doesn't even feel like a blockbuster. At least this still kind of does. And it has moments. But they're both bad. So is Fallen Kingdom. They're all like the same level for me. Just rough.